If you lead with gratitude, positivity, there's a really strong likelihood that you will attract the energy, and that will turn you into a multiplier.
Why don't we meet people where they're at and understand that, come on, everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. And people challenge me on that all the time.
I had the opportunity to play baseball in college, get drafted out of high school by a professional team. So at a very young age, I was very competitive.
Well, here's the thing. Studies show that 4% of employees are actually thriving in a workplace.
Be the content, man. That's the thing. Everything is content.
So Level Up Social Club is a professional business association with over 2,000 plus members. We've done 50 events in a row, all 50 months.
I've been told no many times, and I failed many times. I had a hard time understanding that being perfect from a baseball side is impossible.
Number one, the most powerful force in the world is compounding commitment.
There's one thing that all champions have in common. They get shit done. So welcome to the Get Shit Done experience. Well, we are back at it again. That is right. This is the Get Shit Done experience, also known as the GSDX podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you grab your podcasts. Today, we are at a live networking event with the one and only David Horbinko, Level Up Social Club networking events. My goodness. We're on the burbs, baby, at Bella Napoli. Bella Napoli, you could say. I can smell the pizza. My mouth is watering. And it looks like when I look out in the group of people here, we got people that are coming in a little bit late. But my gosh, what a lively bunch. What a fantastic looking bunch. And David, you would be one of those fantastic looking people. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, bro?
I am wonderful. Once again, the Get Shit Done experience is powered by TTSG, GSD Technologies, and 2020 Design. Also sponsoring tonight's event. How about it?
Also, personal Insperity clients of mine.
And Insperity clients of David's. I mean, what could be better? Who else do we have out here tonight?
We got Chris Welock from IAS Branding, all things apparel, merch, company store. They're your guy.
Let's go. I like that. And by the way, when you go to a networking event and you're a sponsor, you typically have a table. And when you have a table, you probably have some products out on that table. And maybe that's the guy you go to get those products, huh?
Yeah, that's the guy. Then we also got a table for TTSG and a table for Insperity, all things HR. We got a good crew. You know, Johnny, it's not our typical...
You're bringing it to the burbs. Look, you're bringing it to the burbs.
We're bringing it to the burbs. We got 30, 40 people here, you know, pretty solid.
But here's the deal. It's still the Get Shit Done experience, and it doesn't matter where we are, and it doesn't matter how many people in the room. And by the way, by creating content, the likelihood is that as we continue to progress in the suburbs and put on these amazing events, more and more people will get the word out, because instead of talking to 1 or 2, 3 people at a live event, we create the content together, we put the content out, and then thousands of people see it, and hopefully they are part of the journey into the burbs.
I'll tell you this, just start. There was a day, and you were there with me.
I was there.
When we hit 40 or 50, and we celebrated like we won the lottery.
Yes.
And tonight, you know, it's easy to be disappointed with 40 people, but these are all great people here. We got high-quality human beings, and at Level Up has always been about the person first and the profession second. It's all about the vibes, not about the highs. Find the good folks first. Maybe you can figure out a way to do business. Maybe not. But maybe you can send somebody there. That's what Level Up Social Club is all about. You've been with us since, bro, like
early stages,
man. So it's really cool that you're here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you tonight. We got great sponsors with TTSG, Insperity, IAS Branding, and a great group of folks here.
There's always savings, but it's about way more than savings alone. Total Technology Solutions Group redefines managed print services. Excellence is the minimum standard. TTSG is a true managed print service provider, deeply understanding your technology and business goals. Your business is unique. Our solutions are tailored to your current and future business goals. Our customer-first approach empowers and delights. TTSG can ensure your technology environment will scale as your business does. So as you navigate business and constant change, partner with TTSG for premium advisement and seamless implementation of your technology goals. We set the bar high. Your people deserve it. Peace of mind. Powerful innovation. TTSG.com. So what you're saying, David, is we should lead with gratitude. Always focus on the positive. That's kind of the get shit done way. And that's the level up way. And really, that's the human way. If you lead with gratitude, positivity, there's a really strong likelihood that you will attract the energy that you put off, and that will turn you into a multiplier. Isn't that what this is all about? Isn't this why you put together networking events? To be a multiplier.
Yes.
And I just saw a very loyal participant.
Cybersecurity guy.
Very loyal participant of the Level Up that we often see in Chicago. He's made his way out to the burbs. So, hey, look, maybe the word's getting out.
I'll tell you this, too. Like, if you look at it like, I'm fighting, I'm trying to sell deals or whatever, but you get that client, it's like, oh, it's small, but like, hey, man, make note. Yeah. Like that client bought from you, pay attention to them. Just because we have 30, 40 people, which is, by the way, crazy, considering where we all came from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I would be celebrating through the wall, and look at the great people that are here. This is high-quality human beings. They're already talking to each other. They're excited. They're smiling. So why should I be down about it? This is great. It's what it's all about. Life is short. Do business with people that you genuinely want to grow to know, like, and trust. Have some fun with. And that's it, man.
David, you know how you eat an elephant?
No.
One bite at a time. You know how you build a brand? You know how you build a brand?
Who's that?
One event at a time, one meeting at a time, one content piece at a time, one call at a time, one hire at a time.
True story, bro.
Get shit done moment at a time. That is how you build. So we're going to eat this elephant one bite at a time.
Hey, can I tell a quick story?
Of course you can. It's kind of you're like the lead guest here. It's your event. We're just here, putting out a great show.
Hey, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube,
Apple,
TikTok, Rumble,
Truth Social. No, I don't. No, we hit our limit.
Do you guys know how me and Johnny met? Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Tell them.
Should I say it?
You should say it. Say it. Say it, baby. Say it.
It's not that cool, but it is cool.
It's pretty.
All right, so get this shit. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
If we get shit done experience, I think you're fine.
So during COVID, I decide, hey, you know what? I always thought about this. I got to start posting videos, right? How am I going to sell a premium HR service with Inspire to a small and medium-sized business without meeting them in person? This is like even before Zoom was a thing. Didn't know that would be like become a thing. So I started posting videos. And simultaneously, maybe a little bit before me, was Johnny Morris posting videos.
Isn't that crazy?
And I don't know how. I mean, probably through I know how. Like
the algorithm.
A lot of mutual connections. Brandon Murphy is an example. Shout out
Brandon Murphy.
Partners. That would be a mutual connection.
My neighbor.
Before our time, anyways, in 2020. So maybe that. So we start following each other's content, and I'm liking and commenting. I'm like, this guy is killing it, man. I thought I was doing pretty good, but this guy's murdering. And one of the coolest videos I will never forget was when it sort of opened back up again, and you were out with some partiers at your as part of your company.
We were pretty excited. We were excited.
Hey, I'm at a bar on a patio, drinking a beer and eating food outside. It was literally it.
That was the content.
One of my favorite videos. And I don't know how, but we liked. I mean, I know how. So we liked in commenting on all your show's content. We felt the vibes.
Yeah.
Even though there wasn't necessarily a perfect match company wise. And then we met up and we became friends, and that was like 5 years ago.
So now we collaborate. And by the way, for those of you that are following my story, he mentioned that I was drinking a beer. I do not do that anymore. But in that story, I was in fact doing that. And by the way, it was a great time because we were really, really excited. Restaurants had just opened back up. And it was warm out. Restaurants were back open. We're out and about. We're celebrating. And I'm like, you know what? Be the content, man. That's the thing. Everything is content. Be the content. You never know who you're going to touch or inspire. And by the way, you saw it, and shortly after that said, hey, dude, we got to meet. So then we went to Top Golf.
Yes.
And we had an event there, and we ended up talking further and creating some content and smacking some golf balls. And this is before Level Up had started. You had that in the works. Next thing you know, look at this. We collaborate monthly, daily, always.
Love you, buddy, man. That was so much fun. So Level Up Social Club is a professional business association with over 2,000 plus members. We've done 50 events in a row, all 50 months. We're just starting in the suburbs. You know, we'll see how this is going. It's going to go. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to stick around with it. We'll see how it goes. But we're a city folk. We love the city. So our next one is Thursday, September 11th, 6 to 8 at Godfrey Rooftop Hotel. It's like one of the best venues, bro.
And by the way,
to be like,
if you come out to that, you could hop on the mic with me because I will be running the Level Up podcast, hosting that, and promoting amazing brands. Of course, I'll be there. We have a partnership, my friend. I will be there. So here's the question, David. Who's going to join us next on the microphone? Once again, this is the Get Shit Done experience. We are live at an event. We have amazing people that are here. David is an innovator, and he's a multiplier, and he's somebody that brings people together. And just like anything else, you got to have one to get two, and you got to have two to get four, and you got to have four to get eight, and it just keeps going. And I'm watching people stroll in the door, and I'm watching David start to smile with delight as the room starts to fill up. You could feel the energy in here. That's very good. It's very good.
hey, is it cool if I bring in my co-sponsor, IAS Branding, Chris Welock, as the next guy?
I think that's probably what should happen.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, bro.
Way to get shit done, my friend.
Let's get shit
Once
done.
again, David and I both want to thank Tim Ward and Nick Vorzillo for the partnership and the opportunity to represent them, not only on a daily basis through the work that we do, but also out at these events. Special company, TTSG, by the way, Manage Print Services. If you're looking for copy machines and printers, they're the place to go. But it goes far beyond that because they have a service team that is second to none. We're talking about less than a 2-hour and 18-minute from call to resolution time in the greater Chicagoland area, going up into Wisconsin and Indiana. By the way, the best technology out there, cutting edge. Everyone says that about Kyocera, which is what they are a dealer of. And they have a local 24/7 help desk for their other company, which is GSD Technologies. The Get Shit Done experience, GSD Technologies, how does that go together? Well, it goes together because that is Tim's mantra. He's a go get shit done kind of a guy. And so GSD Technologies is a managed service provider. We're talking cybersecurity, cabling, your full IT environment, anything and everything you could possibly want from start to finish. They have got you covered. And by the way, if you have an issue, you're going to call somebody who's in Hanover Park that gets your vibe, cares about you, is responsive, and is not giving you that terrible experience we know we've all had where we call a call center, we're on hold forever, we can't understand what's happening, it's bounced around to 12 different people. You're going to talk to somebody that is like your neighbor and is going to love you into a solution. And then if you need marketing solutions, like let's say a beautiful website or some sort of digital marketing like SEO or pay-per-click, Google Analytics, 2020 Design has you covered. It started in 2020. The best vision is 2020, and hindsight is 2020. So Tim names it 2020 Design because he wants to bring your vision to life. He doesn't want you to have regrets that you didn't push your marketing, and he wants to make sure that your brand pops. So one call, you can have it all. Thank you, Tim.
Let's go.
All right, we got to find our next guest.
Hey, we get a photo real quick?
We're going to take a photo. Look at this. Look at us all photogenic, practicing what we preach, David. The power of content. One great picture and some really, really good copy could be seen by 4,000, 10,000, 20,000 people. And in that group of people could be the next opportunity to solve a problem for their business or to become a friend, partnership, a collaborator, you name it.
You know I don't know. Are we still recording?
We're recording. Say what you want to say.
You know the coolest thing about you, bro?
What?
Just have fun, man. Like, life is short.
We're vibing.
It could end tomorrow. I don't mean to be, like, super deep.
True.
But I'm going to say this. Like, meeting you and knowing you the last 5 years, like, just have fun. I mean, you can do business. You can figure out a way to do business together. That's what Level Up is about. That's what you're about. You know, man, like, just be a good person. Take care of your partners. Take care of your customers. And the community around you. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Chris Welock from My Ass Branding. Thanks so much, bro.
All right. Cheers. Love you too, David. All right. That's how we get shit done. That's your first guest. That is your host for the Level Up Social Club networking events from the Burbs, from Bella Napoli. Bella Napoli, by the way, what a beautiful space. And I know the location you're in Schaumburg. It's been about 40 different things, but I feel like you're here to stay. What an absolutely amazing space you have here. And whoever did your construction interior design, kudos to them. I know you were the visionaries on that. Sure. Hello. How are you? We've got our next guest on, our co-sponsor. Please introduce yourself and let's learn a little bit about what you specialize in. Let's tell the people at home, look, can we scoot in just a little bit so we make sure you're on camera? You have too great of a look to not fully be on camera.
Appreciate it. Chris Welock, second time being on the podcast.
Let's go.
Second time.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, but
you shouldn't be nervous. I mean, my God, you're a sponsor. Pretty much a pro.
Yeah. Chris Welock, my company, IAS Branding. Specialize in promotional products and apparel.
Nice.
So we help a lot of pro teams and college teams with their on-field apparel, their decoration. I focus more on the corporate side of business. So I help a lot of corporate companies with their branding, their brand visibility through a high-end decoration. Our booth to the right showcases a lot of our stuff. So I'm just here to introduce myself to as many people as I can, especially on the corporate side. Level Up kind of helps that process right there. Meet a lot of corporate people, connections. So it's been great. This is my third Level Up event and second sponsor.
Well, it's fantastic that you're here. Once again, the Get Shit Done experience is bringing this content to you from this live event. We're very excited to be here. And I just want to ask you a few questions about branding, things that people should consider. First off, it's a $16 billion industry. We know that you are spending a bunch of money on your marketing, and we know that you allocate a huge amount of funds to promotional products and branded apparel. If you were going to recommend to an organization how they should approach their spend, tier it, marketing to the masses, like how should they kind of utilize that budget to get the most impact?
Yeah, I help a lot of corporate clients with their brand visibility. So they're very concentrated on what brand they're going to buy and what decoration they're going to have, right? And the old school way is just screen print embroidery. And a new word is digital transfer, right? But we help a lot of pro teams. Pro on-field decoration is a little bit different from the corporate world. It's high-end decoration through silicone. It's through 3D texturized.
It's got to take a beating.
It does, but it shines a little bit better than your typical screen print or embroidery. So a lot of corporate clients, we actually try to transition them outside of the embroidery and screen print because they honestly think that's the only option that they have.
What is the advantage to that from a spend standpoint?
They typically look at some of these samples and they're shocked and they say, I can't afford that. But honestly, when budgets come in, one of our largest enterprise companies out there right now is over 10,000. And they first looked at it, looked sticker shock, and it is not. It's honestly a couple more bucks than your normal embroidery. You don't have to worry about stitch count or a colorway or anything like that. And a lot of companies run into budget problems with some of these, the brands that they choose and the decoration that they choose. But we help them with going for more of a higher end logo and having a little bit non-branded apparel side to really stand out. So you can have maybe a sport tech or a lower brand and have a very high-end decoration for a very affordable cost. So that's
And it turns that price point purchase into a premium purchase.
Of course, yeah. So from a branding standpoint, if they're really trying to show more brand visibility and get their logo to shine a little bit more, our company does a very good job of just walking you through the process of your different options besides just pigeonholing you into embroidery and screen print and making you buy those high-end retail brands like Peter Millar or Lululemon. We offer all those brands. We have access to every brand pretty much out there, but we actually have conversations, consult, find the best option based on their budget to really enhance that brand visibility.
So when somebody is making a purchase through your organization and you're advising them, is there a lot of conversation about it's really about what the end user's reaction is going to be? And that's what you're aiming for?
I could say that. Yeah. I mean, a little bit. Again, going back to being the sticker shocked, right? So some of the branding and the marketing team might look at those silicone or those 3D texturized logos and be like, wow, that's going to be awesome. But then you bring it to the C levels and you bring it to the higher ups that are running the companies, and they're so scared to make that jump from their typical embroidery. They're like, we can't do that. I've never done that before. But all the on the field executives from the NBA, NFL, doesn't matter what your age is, everybody's wearing it from the pro side of the teams, and everybody's looking on the TV screens, looking at those logos and saying, how can I get those?
Yeah.
That's really cool. But we do have to consult and sell and provide many samples to a lot of these C-levels executives that have trouble switching from
They're brand loyalists, which means that likely they're style loyalists.
Of course. So if you take a decoration board that I have to my right with all these, different options to a high enterprise C-level executive, at first they're a little bit shocked.
A little reluctant.
Yeah, they're like, that looks awesome, but I can't switch from my 20,000 stitch in that clumps my whole entire shirt and
one bad dryer run.
Of course, yeah. So it might take them a little bit of time, but sometimes we don't push those products really onto our customers right away. If they want embroidery and we offer some higher end decoration and provide that consulting, and they still want to go through the embroidery, we do that, and then they kind of end up circling back around after the relationship grows and they want to really stand out on that logo side.
Seems as if you have a lot of passion about what you do, and that's always outstanding. Great to have you out as a sponsor. The name of the podcast, as we said, is the Get Shit Done Experience. We like to talk to executives and leaders, professional athletes, and people that get shit done about how they do that. Do they have principles, purpose? Is there a foundation, pillars, core values? You're a put-together dude. Right? You got your stuff together. You're doing your thing. That's clear to hear and see. So I'm curious if you could help our listeners to understand how they might emulate some of that. What are one or two things that you do in your daily routine to be able to achieve at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity growing up with a big sports background. So I had the opportunity to play baseball in college, get drafted out of high school by a professional team. So at a very young age, I was just very competitive.
Yeah.
I grew up next door to Dave Urbanko. His older brother played hockey, and we had a bunch of kids on the cul-de-sac always playing hockey, basketball, and I was the youngest one. So maybe my competitive side took a little bit more because I was always...
You were younger brother.
Yeah, and I lost a lot as a kid to the older guys. But, I mean, I would just... What drives me every day is that competitive side. And I've been told no many, many times, and I failed many times. I had a hard time understanding that in the sports world. Being perfect from a baseball side is impossible.
Yeah, it's a failure sport.
Yeah, I thought I had to be perfect on a lot of things, but just growing that into my corporate world and into my business, I had to just still stay competitive. But don't let anybody kind of knock you down if someone says no or doesn't agree with your personality or what you're selling. Just try to introduce yourself to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And that's my goal is when I got into the corporate world was just even like events like this, I never got an opportunity to go to network events. So I'm trying to go to as many networking events as possible now, introduce myself, put myself out there, and then really hone in on that competitive side of what taught me on the sports background.
What a great angle. Those of you that are in sports, there are so many parallels to business. Bring that edge. It doesn't necessarily need to be a chip on your shoulder, but it certainly should be a competitive spirit. There certainly should be a desire to win. In this case, not for yourself, but on behalf of your customers and your teammates, right?
Of course.
And so there's a lot of that. What would you say in addition to your great articulation?
That is like just my advice is find a industry. If you are a sports person out there and professional sports is just coming to an end, or college, Division 1, 2, 3, junior college, and your sport career is coming to an end, put yourself out there. Try a few different jobs. I had the opportunity to be in software, aviation, I now apparel, but I really
Natural transition from aviation to apparel.
Of course, it's something that I have a little bit more passion in, and the team aspect. It just brings me back into a culture that I'm used to. And so I just give advice out there that anybody that is just coming out of college or a professional sport, that try different options, and find a company that is team oriented, and maybe an industry that you have passion for. Because in the beginning of my career, I was told IT or medical sales.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got done playing baseball, hey, I never had a job. I was 23 years old, never had a job in my life. But I have a lot of personal skills. Baseball was my only background, and I went into IT, was in there for a handful of years, and just wanted to try other things because I just felt like that industry, it wasn't my passion.
Yeah.
And now I'm in an industry that I get to work with colleges, pro teams, and now I focus on the corporate side of the business, on the apparel and promo projects.
You know, you said something that's very interesting. There was a generation of people that stayed at jobs for a very, very long time, and they got home every day, and they probably were miserable, and they woke up in the morning, and they hated to go to their job. And then we get to the generations that we kind of are operating in now, and they seem to operate a little bit different. They're more purpose-driven. They're more focused on happiness, on balance. Some could say maybe that's a narrative that has softened the culture a little bit. I would tend to argue with that because I've been through the job that I hated, that I stayed at for a decade longer than I should have, and it wore me out. And I've also chased my passion and found that once you got through the adversity, the gifts on the other end of that are absolutely brilliant. So should somebody be very fickle and continue to move and change until they find that passion? Or should they try and make their passion into a career? Because I think there is a difference.
Yeah. I would say that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So you still have to have that mental, side of things, that if you are struggling with something, and it is tough and you're hitting your ceiling, that your first reaction isn't just to leave.
Yeah.
But
God, that's great advice.
Yeah.
Hear that. Embrace that.
But going back to the old school culture, how our parents grew up and everything like that, we were always told at a young age is you go do the work, you never leave that job until at least 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And so you have
Another one lined up.
why is it 7 years?
Yeah.
But I hate it here. But what helped me in my first 4 years of the corporate world, pounding cold calls out of a cube and selling hardware, software, I realized I miss baseball a lot, right? And I'm very passionate about baseball. Dream job still is to be involved in scouting or a coaching.
Yeah.
I know it at a high level, but I jumped into the corporate world, tried to have the white picket fence at a very young age. And what I realized, though, is I needed to find a little side hustle. I needed to get baseball back in my life. Mm-hmm. And just like yourself is, okay, you went through that, but then you put yourself into a new passion and you found that. But I would advise people, if you are struggling in a career or an industry or a job, and you want to explore something different, as in like a passion project or coaching or whatever it may be, start it.
Yeah.
But you can always do that on the side. You can grow it. And then maybe when it is time and you have that confidence and you have the ability to leave that job and say, hey, I'm going to put everything I got into this and see where it goes. Let's do it. But I would advise just to get yourself back involved. If it's volunteering on the weekend, if it's like what I would do is I worked from home in my sales job. I was living at home, and then at nighttime from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., I coached. I did lessons. I did infield camps. I did everything I can to involve myself in the community of baseball, and that gave me energy. That gave me life.
Fueled you for your day-to-day grind.
It fueled me. So that's my side hustle, was baseball.
I love that. And here's the key to that, I think. I think far too often we hear people say, find a way to turn your passion into a career and you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that is received wrong. I think the reality is the best advice would be the advice given right there, which is to test out your passion and use it to fuel your energy. And then if you can find a way eventually to monetize it, then you have the option. But if you think you have a passion for stones, like rocks, and you're going to make a living at that, it's probably going to be a failure, and then it's going to hurt your passion, right? So you need to make sure that you're doing things that give you energy, but it's not until you figure out whether or not there's a way to monetize it that it makes sense to make that jump.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. It helped me through my journey because in my mindset, I thought I was just a corporate employee. I get to pound the phones. This is my life. And all that stuff that I worked on my whole entire life is to be in the big league.
I just put it to the side now.
And make all this money. The only thing I thought of was, this is my corporate job and I need to make this amount of money.
Yeah.
And the more that I had to hit 6 figures or above or anything like that, the worse mentally I got, because I thought that that's what it was to be successful, was to be in a corporate job, make this money, because I was done with my sport. So what else? What is success?
Right into the matrix.
So I grew a lot in that like 7 years from 23 to I'm 34 years old. And my advice to anybody is I don't have life figured out at all. But I feel more confident in my everyday life. I feel more confident in myself. I'm happier internally.
Yeah.
Just based on how I wake up every day, what I do, and just trying to grow that as much as possible.
I love it. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm almost 50 and I'm still trying to figure out what life is all about. But I'm pretty sure I'm starting to figure out that it's about loving what you do, having gratitude, loving the people you do it with, and giving it everything you got.
Yeah. And you're getting shit done, too, and just letting you know it.
That's a great segue. That's how we wrap it up right there.
Thanks,
so great to have you on. Fantastic that you're sponsoring. Hoping that you're going to continue to come back. Once again, the Level Up Social Club networking events from the Burbs, Bella Napoli. Schaumburg, as they say in Schaumburg, right? Schaumburg. We're having a great time, and if you can hear the background noise, that's because David's dreams have come true, and people are funneling in. And
there's pizza, too.
There's a lot of pizza, and there's a lot of good energy in here. So we're going to be back here in a second with our next guest. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. And remember, get shit done. IT decision makers, this might sting. Frustrated with IT issues, security threats, and the stress of your technology infrastructure? Your technology should blend seamlessly with your business objectives. Technology infrastructure management with limited resources can be exhausting and counterproductive. Do you have an MSP but still have problems and technical hiccups? GSD's advisement, proactive maintenance, cutting-edge cybersecurity, cloud solutions, data backup, and local 24/7 help desk can change the game. Your technology should outpace your business operations to allow for growth, and proactive strategies should prevent issues before they arise. Get back your time and your money with GSD. Drive business forward. Leave the technology to GSD. GSDnow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the Get Shit Done experience, and I have found it's been a long time coming, my friend. Savio on the mic with me. This thing is wandering on him. There we go. I think we're good. There we go.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. If you're not on LinkedIn, you need to get on LinkedIn. But I got to tell you right now, this gentleman every Thursday morning,
Twice a month.
twice a month now. All right, so twice a month, drops Live
Beyond Default.
Live Beyond Default.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't great with the brand name, Live Beyond Default. But if you are looking for some positive inspiration on how you should approach and attack your day, this is the guy that you've got to deal with. Now, Dave got into real estate and started creating content. And next thing you know, he turned into an inspirational speaker and a creator, and now is just absolutely killing it. Dave, I'm so excited to have you on the Get Shit Done experience here from this event.
You look good, brother. And I love your new golfing show.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
I never thought, like, I subscribe, and now, of course, the shorts are popping up in my feed like every day, and I'm seeing, in the beginning, there was like 20 views, and now I go on one, and there's like 653, and then they're slowly going up, but I actually watch them. Like, the conversation is good. The camera angles are great. They're super professional, and what I love about it, John, is that you are so in your element. When you are there and I'm watching, I'm like, this guy he's in the zone. He's congruent. He's super authentic. Like, John belongs doing this. So I love it, love it, love it.
Well, you just made my heart melt. Thank you, Dave. You are a special human being. So,
At AMA, ask me anything.
all right. So
I am an open book.
Okay, so people who don't know you, this may not resonate. So I'm going to need people to go in and kind of look through the feed and maybe go through the rabbit hole a little bit. But
Okay.
you even as 6 years ago, you weren't in the head space and the heart space and the soul space that you're in right now.
It's different.
Okay, so like what adversity slapped you in the noggin and caused you to say, okay, we're just going to break the mold and I'm changing everything up and I'm going to go about looking at things different and then I'm going to master it and then I'm going to teach other people how to do it, which is beautiful and brilliant. So what happened years back that got us to the Dave we see now?
Well, that is a great question. And about 11 years ago, I woke up Thanksgiving weekend and I just didn't like the way my life was going. So I decided to stop drinking for 30 days. And it just lasted and it kept going and kept going and going. And that's not for me to say drinking's bad or people don't drink.
Do your thing.
For me, it just wasn't right anymore. And there was something off in my life. So I changed that. But then what it did is it created that ripple effect. So I started changing other little things in my life. I started reading more. I started getting the shit done, as you would say. I started leveling up who I surrounded myself with. And then eventually, when COVID hit, let's say when lockdown hit, I really had a time to self-reflect. And then that's when I left my career of over 2 decades where I was in B2B sales, commission, and I was making the most money I ever did in my life. I couldn't, but John, I didn't know what to do with the money. It was coming in so fast, especially with COVID, because of the industry that I was in. The industry just boomed, and I'm like, how am I going to leave in 2 weeks when I have this commission report in front of me? I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I thought about my parents, and I thought about my niece and nephew, and I thought about living my life on my terms, my way, not for somebody else. And I made that leap October 30th, 2020. And once I did that, my whole mind, life, neural pathways, just everything changed.
Okay.
So I got into real estate. Like, I didn't know I was going to like real estate. And then I fell in love with it.
Yeah. And I think the love that we see for it is it's so service driven. Like you really hand hold people through the process, the buying experience. Where does that come from? Was that part of your sales training, or were you transactional, or was that more the soul search where you said, you know what, I'm going to lead with gratitude and all the things that we hear you talking about on your lives?
Great question. And it was the soul search.
Okay.
So I took, of course, sales and negotiation and what I've learned over the years in that. And then what happened was Joe is somebody who sat down next to me for over a year, and he taught me every single day how to do real estate. literally mentored me for over a year every single day. And that right there, Joe is no longer in the industry, but what I've done since then is I'm doing the same thing now to a partner.
You're paying it forward.
I'm doing the exact same thing because he gave me so much. But yes, it is heart-centered. It is from gratitude. And maybe I lose some sales, but I think in the long run, in the long game, like Gary Vee says, you can be kind and still make a shit ton of cash.
It's the greatest marketing strategy ever, is to be kind. It's also fantastic for service. Oh, by the way, it's great for partnerships. It's also great for like a relationship with a loved one. It's great for like seeing somebody on the street and saying hello to them. I mean, there's a lot.
Holding the door open for somebody.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hey, you're sitting up against the wall. My name is Dave. Why did you come here?
There's a concept.
Yeah.
Great for a networking event. You're really kind. What a great. Okay, so I think we've arrived at, what we needed to arrive at. So be kind out there. You can still get shit done and be kind.
Yes, you can. And you know what? Holding yourself accountable, that's what I'll say it really all comes down to. And I'm not perfect at it, but it's really just holding yourself accountable. You know what moves the needle forward. You know what your KPIs are. And remember, every single year, you're not going to be good at everything. So some years, you might gain weight. Some years, you might not. Your golf game might suffer.
I hate that year.
So some years, like I have a lot of friends that we would go back and forth. Like a lot of times when the dating life is up, the business life is down. And when the business life is up, the dating life is down. It's you can't be everything, but pick and choose. I love when you make posts with your family.
Yeah, my wife gets pissed about my dating life, though.
You know what? You both are so lucky. I love the posts that you make. They're personal, they're professional, and it just shows that you're a real guy. Hey, John, you're a big influencer, and you really make an impact on so many people. How many LinkedIn followers do you have again?
14,000.
Yeah. He's like, 14,000. Cool. So you have a lot of followers. People love your golf game, and I think that people just love the person that you've become because you struggled at times. You've gone through things.
Yeah.
You're human and you're not hiding it like, I'm Mr. John. I'm perfect. And you look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you're set.
When you set yourself free mentally and you live in your truth, and you're not embarrassed of your truth, because your past is your past, and you can't be embarrassed of your past. And I made some really bad decisions that didn't have the greatest past. And I tell people that truth, not because I need you to feel sorry for me or root me on, but because I pray to God that you don't go down the path that I went down. But more than anything, if I give you my truth, then I own my story. You can't tell my story because I already told it. And it's from my terms. So there's a lot of setting yourself free when you do that. Boy, you really sleep better when you feel free, when you're in your truth. You feel a connection with the universe and God, and you feel a deeper connection with the people that you come in contact with, because your vibes, your frequencies are rocking. And when you're operating on the right frequency, people feel that. That's why they call it vibes. It's vibrations, right?
I love that.
So, and you know this. Okay, so I want to talk about Dave. Like, when you started creating content, let's just go in the Wayback Machine. You were good on the mic, but I could feel you thinking when you were on the mic.
Tell me more about that.
Okay, what do I mean by that? And when I say this, don't take it as a critique, because I did the same damn thing. So I'm in your shoes because I know the shoes. The first few podcast episodes I did, there was nothing natural about it. It was like, oh, shoot, what do I say next, right? And so we all start somewhere, and then there's a progression. So what I watched with you was this progression of like, this is who I am. I'm just speaking my thing. And then there was a talk track that was so authentic and comfortable that you were like, I'm not talking a script. I live this. So this is easy. You couldn't know in that time frame that was going to lead to doors opening for you to now talk in front of 800 people at an event, or 500 people at an event, or thousands of people on your show every other week. Like, you couldn't have known that at the time, but you kept at it. You kept going. So what was working through you as you were doing that? Because if you're like me, you were looking at your content going, boy, how do I do that better? And not feel like I'm pushing or trying to make it better.
Watching the tapes is rough, I have to say. Watching the tapes is brutal, and especially from back in the day. And even now, too, I'll still watch them, and I'll really critique myself hard. But I think now what's happening, and let's say over maybe the last 6 or 8 months, I'm just getting feedback from the people that are live in the loft. People that come to my loft in downtown Arlington Heights, sit on the blue chair. I hit the button. We're live.
You just let it rip.
We can't do anything. There's no stopping. There's no editing. There's nothing. And somehow it's like holding that space. I think that's more where I'm comfortable in, is holding that space so somebody else is comfortable to really share, to really talk. And I don't want it to be about me. Like, I feel like I'm talking less and less.
I feel that.
When I'm not even just on the show, but when I'm out, if people come up to me and be like, "Hey," and I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't even really feel like talking. Well, what are you doing here? It's a networking event. You're going to talk. So I've noticed myself where I've been talking less just because I want to learn more about others. And I have my chances to talk. I have my chances to MC, like I'm doing in a couple of weeks for a gala. I have my opportunities to be on the mic, like right now, and I didn't even know it. You just waved me over.
I was so excited when I saw you walk in. I was like, no way. You just walk in, let's go. This is happening.
Oh, it's so cool. So what are you excited about, John, moving forward the rest of this year and then coming into next year, right? September's the new January. What do you have happening? What's on the horizon? And what do you think might be a challenge for you in the next 6 months also?
Yeah, so what I'm really excited about is, first off, I get to do events like this, and I'm really thankful to be representing brands that I'm proud of with people that I'm proud of. So I'm excited to continue that and to progress. And as you know, as you just referred to, like, you learn how to ask questions. That's kind of like developing your chops. Part of the reason why you don't probably talk as much is because you've learned how to ask really good questions that draw things out of people and makes them comfortable. So I'm really excited to kind of become a better interviewer and to work on those chops. I'm excited to create 7, 8, 9 more episodes of the Golf with JMO show and potentially travel down to somewhere warm in the winter to be able to record some episodes. So that could be pretty cool.
That's exciting.
I'm excited about a new business venture, but I got to tell you what I'm really most excited about is the way that my family dynamics have improved. When you get right with your faith, your physicality, and your mentality, as a leader in a family, which as a father, you don't ask for it, just is what it is. They see everything. They look at everything. And I'm most excited about the fact that I think right now my family is seeing that a lot of things are possible. And that gives me a lot of hope that I'm doing the most important job that I have on this earth, which is to inspire the people that look up to me, and that's my wife and my kids. So I'm really, really hopeful, and I'm putting a lot of time and energy into making certain that I live a life that I'm proud of. So when they look at it, they go, "He's proud, we're proud."
I could not have answered that better. And I just enjoyed listening to what you said there.
Thank you.
Because you didn't think about it. It was from complete congruence and alignment, and you just spoke your truth. It just flowed out. You probably didn't even know what you were saying, and I loved it.
Dave, I got to ask you a question because I'm really curious. I journal, right? I journal. I think we've talked about this.
Yeah, journal is cool.
It's cool, but like that works for me. There's other stuff that you probably do where I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe journaling for you would be like, this is weird. I'm just writing like I'm brain dumping or whatever. But I know that you're a free flowing human. You're in flow. But I also know that you are structured and you are disciplined and you believe in repetition. So give us 3 or 4 things that somebody listening to this could apply tomorrow morning that will get them on the track to feel the peace and abundance that you feel right now.
Number 1, the most powerful force in the world is compounding commitment. So even if you have a small daily behavior that you are committed to. Maybe it's walking a half hour a day, super simple. Maybe it's drinking 100 ounces of water. Maybe it is reading 10 pages a day. Maybe it's getting up at the same time every morning. Something small like that, but compounding and doing it 30, 60, 90 days, not only has the initial, the surface level effect of what you're doing, reading, I'm learning more, waking up at the same time, you're getting more shit done, but there's also like an intrinsic value of that compounding where there's like that faith and there's that power behind it, just because you're doing this commitment consistently. So any little commitment, like I love meditating. I like doing breath work. Yeah. So even like not even Wim Hof, but there's other people out there that I do breath work with. Some of it's pretty intense. Some of it's laying on your back for 45 minutes and people are like guiding you and you get up and you're like, well, I haven't tripped for 20 years or I haven't taken mushrooms since I was in my 20s.
I feel like I just did.
And what am I doing now? I can barely walk.
Yeah.
So I think that compounding commitment and maybe one of those things.
Is compounding commitment similar to habit stacking? Like Atomic Habits, if you've read that?
No, it's actually not. I have. So habit stacking is good because you're putting a new habit on something you're already doing. It's easy, but it's doing it every day. Got it. That's the point. Something else, too, is really, I love that question. So think of your life as a movie. Are you in an episode of Family Guy? Are you in an episode of Beavis and Butthead? Or are you in an episode of Lord of the Rings, right? Beavis is not going to throw the orb in the whatever to blow it up like in Lord of the Rings. I know I'm butchering it. But the point is, really take a look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with and look at the characters that are in your life and see what character you play around those characters. And I think that is super important.
Interesting.
Because it's self-reflection. The most successful people I know, not necessarily money, they are very self-reflective and they're honest with themselves. That's another thing, is being honest with yourself where you're at. Like, I am still building my real estate business. I just started my 5th year. I am not going to be selling $50 million next year, right? I'm getting to that 10, 20, 30 million mark. Like, it takes time. So being honest with yourself. And then,
is that managing expectations? Like, do you believe in, I think when I set expectations for myself, I almost always am left feeling empty. I would rather be more in the process of like, well, I took an action and it was progress, then here's the way I would put it. If you set an expectation you're going to lose 20 pounds, but you lost 17, you could make an argument that you failed because you didn't hit the 20. The reality is you hit 17.
You crushed it.
You crushed it.
Yeah, you crushed it.
So that's kind of what you're
love
saying?
that you said that. So look at it that's a great point, John. So your goal is going to change anyway. You're going to have a goal of, name them, 20 of them. There's going to be a goal that you have, but if you're focusing on the process, like you said, and if you're focusing on your KPIs, whatever those may be, I know that's a very corporate term, but if you're focusing on your KPIs, you're going to hit a goal that you love, and maybe it was originally a goal. Maybe it's, I don't even want to do this anymore, and I'm completely pivoting. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. So I would say,
so there should be some agility.
There should be some agility. Yeah. There should be some agility, and there should be, and then the last thing I'll say is being a good listener. I truly believe that people want to be heard, and so often you never know what anybody's been through. You never know what anybody's going through and what just happened to them. And we think that we do, but we don't. But really just listening to people talk about their lives, about their business, and listening to understand, not listening to respond, I think is a big thing. And listen and not treating people like you want to be treated, because that's the golden rule, but let's level that up to the platinum rule and say treat people how they want to be treated.
You need them where they're at, right?
Don't assume Yeah, meet them where they're at. People will say to me, well, Dave, like, you're scaring people away. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, Dave, you're rolling up and you're like in this vibe or you're doing this.
And they're in that one.
And they're in a different one. It doesn't mean it's up, good, bad, below. It just means it's different. So why don't we meet people where they're at and understand that, come on, everyone's doing the best they can with what they have. And people challenge me on that all the time. No, they're not, Dave. No, I'm not, Dave. It's like, you're doing the best you can with what you have. If you don't look at it that way, you're going to be frustrated.
Oh, my gosh. Always.
Frustrated. You're going to get...
Well, you're not going to...
But
you're might be I'm dehydrated.
And I have a little bit too. But you're not going to look like you do. You could tell you're going to have inflammation. Your body's going to react to it. And you're not going to be coming from a good state. So that was a long-winded 5-minute answer.
It's a great answer, but you know what? I got to add some texture to that because I had an amazing interview with a gentleman by the name of George Shea, and George talked about the importance of communication with a customer or a potential customer in the manner that they want to be communicated with. For instance, if you're calling people on the phone who hate being called on the phone, but that's your tactic, then you need to discover the tactic of the way they want to be communicated with, which might mean text. There's some people who can't stand text. They'd rather just watch your content, right? So you oftentimes in sales, we go, okay, well, you use the term KPIs. We got to do these activities. Okay, well, that activity doesn't work for that person. So you got to find out how they want to be communicated with. And that's a lot of what you're talking about, like when you go to a networking event. Like, you got to kind of take your time to listen and figure out how that person wants to be communicated with. If you're going to, are they into your high energy, or do you need to be a little bit calmer and kind of mirror them a little bit, right?
And mirror them a little bit. John, it's a very interesting world, especially since we had a pandemic in 2020. And really, like, all these things came up to the surface that were really just brewing for the last 10, 20 years before anyway. And it's not a bad thing. I like to think of it as this. Are you proud of yourself and the decisions you made and the things that you said over the last 5 years? Because before we know it, it's going to be 2030. I know. Good Lord. So hard to believe it. It's going to be 2030. It's going to be 10 years from the pandemic, and we're going to look back and go, what the hell just happened? We got chips in our heads. We got robots. We got self-driving cars.
What are you doing?
Right? And we still can't even walk up to somebody and introduce ourselves and say hi in a manner where we're not trying to take anything.
Well, don't worry. AI will say hi for you, right? Isn't that the direction we're going?
AI will say hi.
Yeah. AI will.
And we'll have our robot girlfriend, boyfriend. You don't even have to work anymore.
You don't even wake up. You can just be in a sleeping chamber.
And that's why this conversation is so good. Like, when John just had this smile and he started waving me over, my heart was just beating with joy. Like, there's so many other calls. My phone has been blowing up on the way home from this showing that I was just at now. And there was other people I had, and I haven't even thought about it since I've been here with you, because that human communication, that face-to-face, that, like, here's John here. I can hear him. I feel him. I can smell him if he's got something on his hair or whatever. If he used detergent, he could smell me. I've been outside. I probably smell like the sun because I've been out all day. Like, there's just something different about that human communication.
And thank God we're here having that human communication at the level of social club networking events from Bella Napoli, Schaumburg, Illinois. We're off the burbs, baby. Dave, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Brother.
And by the way, I love you too. And the way you get shit done is inspiring. And folks, if you catch this interview, which you will, because we're just going to chop it up into clips and just absolutely blast it everywhere.
Love it.
Please make sure that you follow Dave. Catch his every other Thursday.
Live Beyond the Vault. It's actually live, and then you can watch the
that,
but I do it live. And this guy's a big inspiration to me. So keep watching the Golf with JMO, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Golf with JMO. I love it. And till next time, thank you.
Get shit done. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Once again, this is the Get Shit Done experience. We are at the level of social club networking events at Bella Napoli. Thanks so much for having us here. I am joined by a superstar and we're going to get to know her. So tell us a little bit about your name, the brand you represent, a little bit about what you do. Just got to move in there just a smidge. There you go.
Hi, people. My name is Marianne Bial. I'm with a security integrator called Imperial Surveillance. We're based out of Arlington Heights. This is...
Let's start. There we go. Just a little bit in.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Marianne Bial. I'm with a security integrator based out of Arlington Heights.
Okay. So when you say security integrator, can you elaborate a little bit on what specifically that means? Talk to me like I'm 6 years old.
All right. So we focus predominantly on like security cameras, access control. We do predominantly alarms for any kind of building infrastructure. New construction is like one of our biggest focuses. We focus on other verticals along with that. But yeah, we're pretty much like your go-to person for any parts and smarts in-house.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing that? What do you love about it?
So I actually started in January.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Sir. But Imperial was one of my customers at my old job. So I worked in distribution for a long time. So I got familiar with the company, and here I am doing the integration world.
Okay, so what have you learned so far about the sales game that shocked you?
I guess predominantly, like I would have to say that just it's a whole different type of sales cycle for me. Like working with end users versus contractors was always new, but there's always a lot you can learn from any industry you work from, right? Yeah. So sales is sales no matter what, but security is a big essential in anyone's market.
Absolutely.
They focus on.
It's huge.
Business.
And there's a lot of bad actors out there, and we know that. So it's about, when they say security, it's about having security, right? So giving people peace of mind, protecting the things that are important to you, protecting your assets, protecting your culture and your brand is extremely important. So if you were to talk a little bit about kind of your daily routine, how do you get shit done?
I would say just make sure you're servicing your customers 100%. The security is a big importance for us, so making sure they know what they want and we're recommending like the best solutions for them is our key, and that's what we strive as a partner to the customer.
Love it. How do people get a hold of you if they're looking to make a change? Perhaps they just purchased a new office space, they want to, or they're not so happy with the team, the service they have right now.
ADT.
The team they're working with right now, the service is not so good. It's not a very good brand experience they're getting. It's just, they're getting rubbed the wrong way, but they don't know where to turn. How do they get a hold of you so they could get a proposal and have you walk them through the process and make them feel wonderful so that they absolutely decide to go with you?
Yeah. So we do have a business development team that's out there grinding, finding us new leads. But
old biz dev.
Yeah. I mean, old school phones still work the same way, right? And emails is like the best way to get a hold of me. Otherwise, we have like our support team. You can call into our main line and they will, direct you to any kind of sales consultant that can help out.
All right. Well, do you want to give your email so people could email you?
Of course. So my email is Marianne, Maryann .Bial, my last name, at imperialcctv.com. Or you could always call me direct. All
right. Imperial, that's the way to go. If you want to feel secure, it's Imperial. What is the website so they can take a look at that before they decide to email you?
It's just imperialsurveillance.cctv.
Imperial Surveillance. You got it. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And congratulations on the new role.
Thank you.
I just have a feeling you have an energy and a beam in your eye. You're going to dominate. You're going to do amazing things.
I try.
You believe it? There's no trying. There's only doing. She's going to get shit done. Believe it. And by the way, she's going to do it with your hub. So please reach out. Let's help her build her career as she helps you protect your company. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right. Once again, we're back at it again. Who do we have with us today? Who's joining us now? What is your name? Tell us about your brand.
So my name is Colleen Doyle. I am with Riki Interiors. So we are a commercial manufacturer of commercial furniture, excuse me. We make all things laminate. So anything you can think of, laminate, we create out of Elgin.
I believe I drive past your building off of 90.
Do you see the very large chair over there?
Single day.
So what do you notice about?
I noticed a big old sign there and a big old chair.
Big old chair, yes. So
That's some branding for you right there.
yes. We also have a big old chair inside when you walk into it.
I love
We
it.
like to take pictures out.
Okay, everyone loves a big chair. All right, so I'm curious, like, what gives you the most brand pride? Like, what do you love about
We
where
are
you came?
manufactured here in the U.S.
How about it?
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Right?
Although these don't drop, but figuratively,
I could probably
it's a
make
mic. Please don't. Figuratively, it is a mic drop. Figuratively. All right, so made in the USA, absolutely outstanding, and you're national with your reach, or you're international?
We are national.
National. Okay.
But we also offer, basically, we're a turnkey solution. So we have a full interior design team. So if you're a business owner that doesn't want anything to do with the project, you want to focus on your role, we can handle the rest. So we have trusted vendors that we work with. We're basically an owner's rep.
I love it. So you're a CEO. You own a business. You just decided.
I don't own.
No. I'm saying I'm gonna paint a picture here for a second. So you're a CEO, and you've decided that you're going to expand into a bigger facility. And part of the reason you're going to do that is to create this unbelievable employee experience. But you also want to create a brand experience because you want to bring customers and potential customers in for tours at your facility. And of course, in that regard, you want it to be welcoming and warm, and it's got to look classy and professional, and it's just got to show that you are successful. But you don't know anything about that because you're in finance or you're in wholesale distribution of some sort of type of product. So this is an organization that you could reach out to that will, from start to finish, walk you all the way through from design to implementation. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think he just replaced my job. I think you really need to be in my role because you just said it way better than I could.
I don't know if that's true.
I do.
But I do think that there's a ton of value to that because think about the stress that somebody has when they're making that huge investment.
Well, here's the thing. Studies show that 4% of employees are actually thriving in a workplace. So we have just started what we call as Project Thrive. And so we're really diving deeper into just how much an atmosphere affects everyone. I mean, they're spending how much time at a workplace, right? Like,
Well, yeah. Do you want to go home to a house that you can't stand the paint on the wall, that you can't stand the carpet? Like, it makes you feel bad.
There's a thing called feng shui. There's a reason why they say declutter. Same thing goes with the workplace. If you are an outdated workplace, everyone walks in and you're like, oh, I don't want to be in here today. Or you walk into an environment that's elevated, beautiful. How is that going to affect your productivity?
So you're saying that it's not a purchase, it's an investment.
Absolutely.
There's a return on investment
100%.
of creating a space that is welcoming to employees and the outside world. Because we had I used to work in an organization and we did something similar. We created this amazing workspace. Couple reasons. We were coming off of COVID and we needed employees to come back to the office. And if you're going to get them back to the office, you better provide a workspace that makes them proud.
And to that point, we noticed that a lot of companies are investing in their break room more. They are having the wellness rooms, your mother rooms and everything. So we just realized the importance of making everyone kind of feel like they're at home. So we like to use the term residential.
Residential.
So
I love that.
combining that, obviously the homey feel, but in a commercial space.
Yeah.
So we like to give the balance of the two.
There's also a home court advantage. You know, if I'm in business development, one of the really cool things that you should be doing as an organization is bringing potential customers to your facility to catch a vibe, right? So I would imagine working with a company like yours creates a setting for a business development person to be super proud of their organization and be like, hey, look, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if this space makes you feel a certain way, then our service is probably going to make you feel a certain way, and our product's going to make you feel a certain way. So it's all consistent, the feng shui idea.
Not to mention our same part of our brain that our emotions are on is the purchasing side of the brain. So that's a big deal. You bring someone in and they see the scope of our capabilities. They also are going to have light bulb moments because they're going to walk in and be like, I like this, I like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's difficult for people to verbalize what they're really wanting. They can talk about their brand, they can talk about the feel, and the details we can help with. But when we have clients walk in or anyone walk in, they point things out like, that's what I want. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And then it helps everyone because we're like, all right, take notes of that. Like, you guys like this feel, you like that feel. And it's the importance of, like I said, bringing them in for them to see what we can actually.
All right, so you're put together, you're successful, you're out there doing it, you're making things happen, you're building a great life for yourself. What is your formula to get shit done? Do you have a foundation, like, I have to do this every morning?
On a personal level?
Yeah. What do you do personally? What do you do personally, like part of your routine that helps you to be successful in your career? And because you're successful in your career, it helps you to be successful in your life. It all kind of works in that beautiful circle. So, like, what is your foundation, your core values?
I need 5 in the morning. That's my number one.
Yeah.
I 100% need a minute to myself to just take things in. If I start off with my phone blowing up and it's like all engines are firing, I can tell you how my day is going to go. So if I give myself a minute, I'm pretty good. If I kind of just like think through my day, get ready at my own pace. I have to put my phone away though. I honestly think that that's the secret.
Yeah, it really is.
That's the biggest secret to life is not picking up your phone right out of the gate. And it's hard not to because we're all attached to our phones. It's terrible. I'm so guilty of it. But I do notice that the days that I start off,
visualization, kind of seeing what's going to happen in the day before you do it.
Giving myself a minute to breathe.
Like some grace.
Just some peace for a second, because then I feel like I can approach life in such a different way. If I feel like everything's coming at me, I don't know. It definitely impacts how I go throughout my day.
All right. So how do folks get a hold of you, reach out to you, follow you on social media? Like, how do they get in touch with you? Because I know you're listening to this, and I know at some point, whether you're in the decision right now, approaching the decision, or you feel like you're a year or two away from a big decision to go into a space, or you want to rearrange your space, and you're going to look for somebody who's going to advise you from start to finish and implementation and have great follow-up and customer service. So we know you're looking for an answer. By the way, hey, right, she's right there. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, LinkedIn, of course. You can reach out to me directly. So,
and how would they do that?
Well, we can obviously...
Is there an email address?
Well, cdoyle@rieke.com, and it's RIEKE. And all of my information is basically in my signature, so it's direct to my phone. But LinkedIn is probably one of the best ways. I am also on Instagram, the Colleen Doyle, but I probably use LinkedIn more for his role.
All right, so Colleen Doyle, LinkedIn, send her a DM. Do not send her an AI DM. Be genuine. Please be a human.
Yeah.
Please reach out. Please say something nice. Please give her a compliment about how fantastic her company is or her content. Please be nice. And no spam in her DMs, for gosh sakes. I see you out there. I know what you're trying to do. We've had enough of the AI DMs. AI is great for stuff, but not for that. Be a human, and you'll get the best service possible from Colleen. Colleen, so great to have you on the show. Great to meet you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up the show right now. Once again, this is the Get Shit Done experience, powered by TTSG, GSD Technologies and 2020 Design. You can find us at www.gsdxpodcast.com. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. You're watching this right now, so you're on one of them. But we want you to go and watch us on another one. By the way, tell a friend, like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and send me a DM, maybe with a little nice job. That would be nice.
Nice compliment.
He likes nice compliments. I feel like
he's really good at what he does.
Thank you.
I'm just going to be candid here. I was real nervous about these guys, but he makes me feel very comfortable.
Thank you very much. I even did my hair for this. Thank you for tuning in. And by the way, Colleen, I want to remind you, you got shit done.
I got you.
Cheers. business handle 15% growth? If yes, you have to engage with 2020 Design. They fuse data and creativity to stop the scroll, break through the noise, and grab the attention of your future customers. 2020 Design will create competitive, click-worthy campaigns, design and build custom websites, spark your social media presence, and structure email campaigns that get right to your audience, the decision maker. Let's boost attention and awareness, which allows you to convert more sales. Check them out at 2020design.com. That's the number 20, TWENTY design.com.